Hello, welcome back to Drunk Storytime with Quefish. I am Quefish. I am still drinking Ballet of Angels, which is kind of crap, which is why I have laced it with Chambord, which is why it's pink and it's not really a white wine. It's kind of, white wines are more yellow than anything else, right? It's not just me, right? Anyway. This is my fourth video tonight. I started out with a shot of Jaeger because I had it and a beer. And this is the bottom of my second glass because I'm moving and packing, and this is what I have. I don't have wine glasses. I know. I'm such a plebeian. Nose. I'm not civilized at all. So, this story is general audiences. My goodness, I'm on a roll with the non-explicit stories. I don't know how to feel about that. But at least you can listen to these at work if you want to. So, this is called Demon Resources by Munchmulch. Okay. Let's see. They, them pronouns for Crowley, just as a heads up. And it may be summary. It may be surprising to note that if you were to compare the Demonic Resources Department with its angelic counterpart, you'd find that Demonic Resources, DR, is both more efficiently run and brutally effective. Currently, Crowley is in a meeting with their case manager. It may be surprising to note that if you were to compare the Demonic Resources Department with its angelic counterpart, you'd find that DR is both more efficiently run and brutally effective. Angelic Resources is quite polite. They'll listen to your complaints. Someone might even pat your back consolingly. Unfortunately, they also have little to no authority. Under the tense bureaucracy of heaven, reports filed against any angel ranked higher than a power, capital P, power, ranks, choirs, always seem to get lost in a back cabinet to gather dust. Figures. Demonic Resources, on the other hand, is a horrifying amalgam of resource management, judicial enforcement, and a militia. Oh my God. As long as you have a genuine complaint and the right paperwork, the justice that DR implements is both fast and terrifying. However, the fear of the consequences of wasting the department's time, combined with the uncertainty over which forms to fill out, keeps many demons away from it. Currently, Crowley is in a meeting with their case manager. The office is dimly lit, a dingy glow filtering through the sourceless vapor curling along the walls. 2 banged-up chairs and a desk are the only furniture in the room. The demon across from Crowley is covered in dark, pebbly scales and sports a wide mouth of dull fangs. Crowley is trying to look confident and landing somewhere closer to manic. Listen, Celios, buddy, this was all above board, I swear. I have the forms all sorted out and everything. They nervously wave a thick manila folder labeled Crowley's Paperwork, Essential Documents. The case manager nods, calmly breathing hellfire out of their thick nostrils. I'm sure that's true, bosom. Take some deep breaths and we'll sort this out together step by step. Crowley nods frantically, sweat prickling at the back of their neck as they try to ignore the crocodile nudging one of their legs. They freeze, brain catching up. Bosom? Now, the case manager ignores the implied question and squints slitted eyes at the yellowed paperwork on their desk. Let's start with the misplacement of the Antichrist complaint filed by Lord Beelzebub. Crowley nods some more, stammering. Right, what? Well, they fumble with the folder and pull out a sticky note from the side of one of the flaps, squinting at it. Yeah, so I would like to state that I turned over the Antichrist to a nun of the Chattering Order of St. Beryl as I was instructed. They swallow. My verbal account can be confirmed by the former agent of our Dark Lord, Mary Hodges. Any further sources of my innocence have been regrettably burned in an unauthorized fire executed by the demon Duke Hastur. Now, pull out the photocopy of the official complaint form we filled out, dear. It is the one with light blue Crowley cuts himself off. I apologize. Crowley cuts themselves off and sorts through their papers before handing one over that has a light blue sticky note attached, labeled, Damage Complaint, Unauthorized Action Against Human Agents of the Infernal Master. Okay, I get it. Okay. He's just reading the sticky notes that Aziraphale wrote and doesn't know when to stop. Okay. I get it, I'm catching up. Sorry, this is like my something glass of wine. Celios looks genuinely pleased as they accept the form, taking a moment to read it over before writing the human's name on a third sticky note and attaching it. I'll follow up with this, but everything looks to be in order. The crocodile demon... Oh my god, that's... wait, what? I am so confused. Okay. The crocodile demon lifts the list of charges closer to their face, turning their head to the side as they... Oh gosh, I guess they would have to. As they squint. Crowley, against their better judgment, mumbles, Bad eyes, team. Can't see shit vibes. Celios singes the paper with a bit of a snort and then moves on. Next complaint. Disruption and prevention of Armageddon. Crowley perks up. They have their response memorized for this one. Actually, there is absolutely no evidence that I personally was helpful in preventing Armageddon. Like, at all. Useless, really. Crowley fumbles with some more papers. I have written accounts from both the Antichrist and the humans who were involved. Crowley flips through until they find the end of Adam's report, pointing to the passage which reads, Yeah, I have no idea who these guys are. I've never met them before. They just showed up and started talking a lot. First impression, the one who looks like a bajillion-year-old librarian tried to shoot me. And then pretended to take a pretended to take a coin out of my ear. And the one with sunglasses who looks like he might be in the mob slipped me 50 quid when my dad wasn't looking. Crowley's case manager is grinning now, wiggling in their seat in a way that immediately endears them to Crowley. This is very good. Celios inches their paperwork even closer to their face, and their smile droops a bit. Next point, the murder of Duke Liger. They frown disapprovingly at Crowley. Crowley throws their hands up in the air. Self-defense! That was self-defense, in fact. Thanks somebody that Aziraphale is friends with Dagon. When did that happen? Thanks somebody that Aziraphale is friends with Dagon, because there's no way Crowley would have been able to get this photocopy otherwise. They slapped Beelzebub's order down on the desk triumphantly, which simply reads, Haster, you useless sack of pus. Take your squeeze and find Crowley and then start popping off limbs until the slippery bastard tells us what the fuck is up with the Antichrist. Oh, take your squeeze. Leaguer was cheating on Michael. I am totally a Leaguer Michael shipper. The note is signed with Beelzebub's insignia, but Salios doesn't look completely convinced, pursing their lips at the paper. And, Crowley points at the demon, Leaguer came back from the dead, so no harm done. Crowley seesaws their hand back and forth, not taking into account a medium to high level of trauma. They cough. And I'm not sure either of them will testify to this, but the holy water was in a bucket over the door. I warned them not to come in. This seems to satisfy Salios, who relaxes back into their seat with a hum. Crowley's not done, though. And if you're going to get on me about murder, Beelzebub ordered that an... Excuse me. Beelzebub ordered that an usher be used to test the holy water during my trial. Nasty seeing that. Aziraphale had been very grumpy about it, insisting that the little dragon, oh, it's a dragon, was cute enough that it had never done anything wrong ever in its life. Speaking of my trial, total shame that wasn't given the stand to state my side of things. Crowley's hands flailed dramatically. Had one judge and 2 persecutors. Didn't even get a defense counsel. Crowley crosses their arms sullenly. Bloody rude is what that is. They brighten. Oodles of witnesses to back me up on that, though. Spectator sport and all. Salios looks shocked, bringing a hand to their chest as if to clutch imaginary pearls. None of the proper paperwork necessary for a rigged trial was filled out. Okay, that's hilarious that they have specific paperwork for a rigged trial. I'm sorry, we only had the paperwork for a standard trial. This is the rigged trial paperwork. None of the proper paperwork. Oh my god, it reminds me of what was that race of aliens from Hitchhiker's Guide, the one that has to have all the paperwork? Fuck, I don't remember. None of the proper paperwork necessary for a rigged trial was filled out. They tut. I'll have to bring this to my supervisor. Crowley, not really expecting support and looking a bit embarrassed about their dramatics, hunches back into the chair. Right, thanks. The demon huffs. Well, last thing on the list. Another squint. Fraternization with the enemy. Friendly cooperation with an angel. At this, Crowley positively lights up, pulling the last piece of paper from the folder with a flourish. It's so yellow, it's almost brown. Oddly grainy in texture and thin enough that it's probably being held together by a miracle. I applied and was approved for the attempted seduction of the Principality of Aziraphale on the 22nd day. They had filed the request as soon as hell got itself together enough to start having paperwork. On the 22nd day. That's a full stop. My bad. crowing, absolutely proud and ready to flaunt, waggles their fingers at Celios, showing off the golden engagement ring. And I did an excellent job. Got Aziraphale fired from heaven, and we're getting married. They'd also both agreed that neither of them had any real interest in lust, which is what a Crowley was originally approved for. But who's gonna check in about that? Oh, so ace marriage. Celios gasps, carefully accepting the form and lighting up the room with another toothy smile. Congratulations! Good show. I think we're done here. I'll make sure all of this is possessed. And as long as all your sources check out, you should be in the clear. The demon wiggles again. I do love when people have all of their paperwork together. Crowley grins back, bounding out of their seat. Honestly, thank the angel. I can barely see all that fiddly little text. That's why Dagon has them do all my forms. Making for the door, Crowley stops, turns around, swaying back and forth for a moment before pulling a card from an impossibly small pocket and sashaying back to hand it over to Celios, mumbling, "If you're free," before loping out the door. Celios squints at the card. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Aziraphale Fell and Anthony J. Crowley. Please RSVP at your earliest convenience. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay, how did Dagon and Aziraphale become friends? I gotta know that story. Or is it because the paperwork for seduction was sent in? Okay, this is my own interpretation. So the seduction application was submitted. And then Dagon had to deal with shitty paperwork forever. And then suddenly one day, paperwork started coming in that was fucking amazing. And Dagon went to Crowley and was like, "What is this paperwork? It's amazing." And Crowley was like, "Remember that seduction I applied for? It's paying off." And then Dagon's like, "Holy shit, that's amazing. Please don't fuck this up because this is amazing paperwork." Oh my god, that's so funny. And then Dagon and Aziraphale start getting along. That's fucking perfect. So that was cute. That was funny. I love stories about the other departments and heaven and hell and all the and I know that bureaucracy is a name for the gay bees ship, but I'm just talking about like the actual general definition of bureaucracy. I love the bureaucracy stories of both heaven and hell and how they run, and it's just so funny. So this was Demon Resources by Munchmulch, which I would not like to munch mulch. Sounds gross. But I'm not a kink shamer, so if that's your thing. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So this was fantastic. Thank you so much for letting me read your story. This is adorable. And I will see you next time.